Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Daybreak. I'm Juliana Brock.
And I'm Colleen Winder. In this week's episode, you'll get the scoop on what new rules have been set in place at the waterfront, some information on how you can meet our interim university president, and what new faculty member just joined our dance program.
Reporter Addison Deal has some Saturday news about the upcoming 5th season of the Netflix series Sex Education. And of course, reporters Nick Konopka and Samuel Parator are here to politismack your political news and hand you that sideline slice.
Stay tuned, we have all this and more coming up. Wake up and smell the coffee, Pittsburgh. Daybreak starts right now.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we start sharing your campus news, here's our weekly weather update with Nick Konopka.
If you have allergies, the past 2 weeks have certainly been a whirlwind for you. Our weather has ranged from sunny days, almost reaching the 70s, to cold, windy, rainy storms. Unfortunate as it may be, it seems that this trend is set to continue in the coming week, though not as severely as it has began. Generally, temperatures will fall to the low and the mid-20s, and around the mid-40s as well. Not too sunny, but it's better than frigid. Speaking of frigid though, there might be a few chances of snowfall in the coming week. That's all for our weather report this week. Now back to our hosts.
Thanks, Nick.
We have a lot going on around our university in the upcoming week, so there is no time to waste.
It's time for your campus news, Point Park.
Student apartment Pioneer Hall has returned after its COVID-19 hiatus. Pioneer Hall was previously leased under Point Park as sophomore apartments. However, the building is now under new management of Macomb Construction on 111th Wood Street. The new apartments are similar in size and will range in cost based on the number of students. A 4-person room costs $600 a month, a 3-person room costs $800 a month, and a 2-person room costs $1,200 a month, with all utilities included. The apartments include 2 bathrooms, a fridge, a kitchen stovetop, and laundry room on each floor. The building is still in construction with new facilities, like recreation rooms and retail areas still underway. If you have any questions or concerns, contact them through their website, macombconstruction.com.
A new faculty member has joined Point Park University's Department of Dance. Jae-man Ju began his classical ballet training in Gwangju, Korea, where he was born. He studied traditional Korean dances, modern and classical ballet. He joined Point Park in 2022 as an assistant professor and is incredibly passionate about giving back to the students. Zhu has tons of experience under his belt as he was a resident choreographer at Complexion's Contemporary Ballet for 21 years. He even won the Princess Grace Award for Excellence in Choreography in 2009. Zhu teaches classical ballet and contemporary ballet partnering classes here at Point Park. Zhu said, quote, "I want to give everything back to the students and share all the knowledge and experiences that I have gained through my beautiful career. It makes me so happy when I see my students grow and develop into strong dancers and beautiful human beings," end quote.
Point Park's interim president, Dr. Busalis, is hosting a listening session on Thursday, February 23rd from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. in room 814 of Academic Hall. The session will go over his plans and potential strategies that will take place in following semesters. He will also open the floor to students to give their opinion on what Point Park does well, what Point Park needs to improve, ideas to fix these problems, and what topics take priority, according to the students. And as a bonus, the event will also have pizza available to those who RSVP. So, take the time to make your ideas and concerns matter with Dr. Brusalis.
That's exciting with the new professor.
It really is.
Being a former dancer, I know how exciting it was to get dance teachers in and to be able to learn something new. It was definitely an adjustment, but it was also very exciting.
Yeah, it seems very credible too.
Right? I mean, 21 years at that dance studio is crazy.
Honestly,
That's
and
one
same
heck.
thing with the interim president. I got the chance to meet him
Yeah.
in the other listening session they had on Monday, and it was really insightful. I enjoyed the plans he wants to make.
That's great.
And I think it's beneficial for all students to go and listen and give their opinions. It was a very constructive meeting.
Yeah, that sounds great. I like that he's doing these listenings. It makes us feel seen since it was so sudden, everything that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be great.
I know.
Now let's hear from reporter Addison Deal for this week's entertainment news update. Addison?
After 4 seasons, lead actress in Sex Education Emma Mackey has revealed that she will not be returning for the 5th season. The 27-year-old actress made a big splash in the show as her first professional role. Her character, Maeve Wiley, made a big impact on the show, quickly becoming a fan favorite after the first season's release. This success has led to many other roles in recently released films, such as her role as Emily in Emily Bronte in the upcoming series Emily, and her upcoming role in the Barbie film with Margot Robbie. The actress also won an award at the BAFTAs titled the Rising Star Award, where she revealed the news that fans were going to see a lot less Maeve. Mackey said to reporters backstage at the awards, quote, "Season 5, I've just finished the 4th one last week. No, I don't think I'll be in Season 5. I've said goodbye to Maeve," end quote. Along with Mackey, some other familiar faces on the show will also be saying goodbye after Season 4. Ncuti Gatwa, who played Eric, has also announced his departure from the show to play the 15th and first ever Black Doctor in the series Doctor Who. Along with Gatwa, actresses Tanya Reynolds, who plays Lily, and Patricia Allison, who plays Ola, will also be absent after Season 4. Netflix has yet to comment on Mackey's announcement of departure, but has confirmed the departure of the other actors. With Season 4's expected release in the coming weeks, fans are sad to see these characters go, but excited to see what new things the show has in store.
Thanks so much, Addison. After the break, we'll start by diving into this week's Pittsburgh news. We have some important updates for you, so stay tuned.
Then we'll hand things over to our reporters Samuel Parator and Nick Konopka before finishing off with this week's Ray of Sunshine.
Daybreak will be right back.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back.
Welcome back
to
to
Daybreak.
Chicken Guy opened in PPG Place on Monday.
The bridge would open before the 1-year marks to check out the 20th annual gingerbread display.
Share with you this week's Ray of Sunshine.
We are still somehow hanging around in the playoff.
It gives Georgia Democrats some hold onto the governing body.
Are 200,000 people still in harm's way?
This weather is perfect for those cozy nights indoors.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Thanks for sticking around. We hope you enjoyed the break.
Now let's get started with your city news.
If you enjoy going to the waterfront in Homestead, then you want to be aware of the new policies they are implementing for safety. There is now a daily curfew and youth supervision policy put in place to prevent disruptive behavior. According to KDKA, the new policy states that after 6 p.m., anyone under the age of 18 must be with an adult the age of 21 or older. The adult must have an acceptable form of identification as well. After midnight, no one under the age of 21 is allowed on the property. Anyone who disobeys these rules, including the guardian and juvenile, can be banned from the waterfront for life. Those that visit the waterfront frequently claim that there is no need for these rules to be implemented. Crystal Flora told KDKA, quote, "I think it is going to be really hard to zero in on somebody and get them to give you their ID without running away. I think it is going to actually maybe cause more issues," end quote. Another interviewee told KDKA that there will be unsupervised young people around no matter what, and that these rules will not change anything. It will be interesting to see how these rules age.
James Barr von Olson is Pittsburgh Supercomputing Center's new president. The PSC is a joint research facility between the University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon that oversees the computer and electrical engineering and biomedical informatics of the universities. Olson has previously worked at Rutgers University in Newark, New Jersey as the vice president of the Office of Advanced Research Computing. And during his time there, he developed the cyber infrastructure strategy that centralized research computing at the university. With his experience, Senior Vice Chancellor for Research Rob A. Rutenbar exclaims that his, quote, experience with cyber infrastructure that supports scientific research will make him an excellent leader to continue and advance PSC's legacy in high-performance computing comprehensively across the full spectrum of scholarly activities, from digital arts to humanities to STEM to clinical and health science users, end quote.
The Audubon Society of Western Pennsylvania has confirmed the first egg of the season was spotted in the Hayes bald eagle nest on Friday. It was confirmed around 5:25 p.m. Audubon Society told KDKA that there is a span of 2 to 4 days in between laying eggs, so this might not be the only egg we see this year. Last year, there were 3 eggs that hatched and fledged the nest. Now that there is an egg present, an eagle will always be there to watch and incubate it. These eagles have been a breeding pair for 11 years now. They've been nesting on the hillside in Pittsburgh's Hayes neighborhood since 2013. KDKA has a live stream linked on their website so you can watch the eagles take care of their little ones at all times. I think the eagles are so cute.
That is so cute.
I know, isn't that adorable? I remember watching the live stream. I don't watch it like continuously, but my parents have showed me before and I was like, that's so creative.
I can't even believe they have a live stream. I
I
want to
know.
watch.
I'm like, how did they get the camera up there? That would be so scary. But I love that they did it because it's so fascinating to watch.
You know what else is fascinating? The fact that the waterfront is closing down for 21 and under.
I know. I think that's interesting. I mean, I go there every now and then because it's decently close from here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't plan on being there that late anyway, so it's not that effective, but...
It's just like a crazy rule, especially
Right.
for a shopping center.
Right. I'm interested to see what will happen because I feel like the people that go there frequently have a point that it might cause
Yes.
issues, but I guess we'll just have to see. I'm glad that they're looking out for safety, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before we share this week's ray of sunshine, reporters Nick Konopka and Samuel Parator are here to share your political and sports news.
First up is Samuel Parator here with this week's Sideline Slice. Sam?
Thank you, Kaliana and Juliana. My name is Samuel Parator, and this is another edition of Sam's Sideline Slice. The NFL season is over, and that brings us to our typical question around this time of year. What sport is next up for the Sideline Slice? Well, you guessed it, more football, of course. That is right, there is still football to talk about. The reimagined and redesigned XFL kicked off its now 3rd iteration this weekend. Previous attempts came back in 2001 and most recently in 2020, but unfortunately both of those lasted either one full season or even less than that. This new iteration is under the ownership of Jerry Cardinale, Danny Garcia, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This league has a plethora of different rules and procedures that are very different than the NFL. Rules like kickoffs looking a little bit different to make it more safe for the players, different options for extra points following a touchdown, including a 3-point option, and an option to convert a 4th and 15 rather than kick an onside kick if you're looking to keep possession near the end of the game to come back. There's also the ability on the broadcast to hear the QB and coaches mic'd up to get an insight on the plays that they are calling, which then are incorporated into the broadcast and explained by the commentators. And we also get the ability to listen in on the conversation between the Vice President of Officiating, Dean Blandino, and the game refs if a play is challenged, which is probably one of my favorite things that they do. There are, of course, several other differences and different things like that, but these are the ones that I take most note of. Now let's get to the teams and the games from this kickoff weekend. We started off on Saturday afternoon as the Arlington Renegades, who are coached by Bob Stoops, fell to the Las Vegas Vipers, who are coached by Pro Football Hall of Famer Rod Woodson, 22-20 in a comeback thriller. The night game on Saturday consisted of the Houston Roughnecks, coached by Wade Phillips, taking it to the Orlando Guardians, who are coached by Terrell Buckley, 33-12, for easily the largest margin of victory on the weekend. Now on to Sunday, where the early window saw the St. Louis Battlehawks, who are coached by Anthony Becht, barely edge out the San Antonio Brahmas, who are coached by Pittsburgh Steelers legend Hines Ward, 18-15, as the Battlehawks scored 15 of their points in the last minute and 17 of the game. And lastly, on the Sunday night window and tasked with following that thrilling finish, we saw the DC Defenders, who are coached by Reggie Barlow, defeat the Seattle Sea Dragons, coached by Jim Haslett, 22-18, to cap off quite the week 1. And needless to say, I'm quite excited for what week 2 and beyond will bring. That is all for me. Now let's send it over to Nicholas Konopka for this week's PolitiSmack.
Welcome back to PolitiSmack. I'm Nick Konopka. Something you happen to learn when covering politics is that the most important elections occur in the so-called off years. Case in point, this year's election for Allegheny County Executive. And this year's election is all the more important because it's an open race for the first time since 2011, when the current executive, Rich Fitzgerald, was elected to the job. And this past weekend, 7 of the candidates hoping to replace Fitzgerald took to the stage to hash out policy differences at a forum hosted by CMU's Hines College. On the issues, the 7 Democrats found more differences in their approach to the issues rather than the issues themselves. County Treasurer John Weinstein touted his knowledge of the budget process when he was asked how he would address the conditions at the county jail. He also agreed with his fellow candidate Will Parker that the jail shouldn't be a, quote, hotel on the river. Everyone on the stage called for the reopening of Schulman Juvenile Detention Center, aside from Will Parker, who said he would support more recreational activities for young people to keep them away from crime. Former county council member and Republican-turned-Democrat Dave Fawcett often brought up his proposal for a county-wide riverfront park, an issue he pushed while on the council. Another candidate, City Controller Michael Lamb, had a pet project of his own: free community college for Allegheny County residents. Lamb took every opportunity he could to promote his plan, highlighting how it would ease staffing shortages and keep people out of jail. Progressive State Representative Sarah Innamorato called the county budget a moral document and emphasized the need for community input on initiatives such as housing and transit. On housing, County Councilwoman Liv Bennett brought up her experience as a current occupant of public housing and argued for the continuation of pandemic-era rental assistance to keep people from losing their homes. Diverting from the current county executive, every candidate on the stage said that they would not expand fracking in the county. Now, in a 7-candidate field, any one candidate is going to need a lot of resources to stand out. And by resources, I mean money. And according to a public source analysis by Charlie Wolfson and Jamie Wiggin, Lamb, Innamorato, and Weinstein lead the pack in that order, with Weinstein $380,000 ahead of his closest rival. But don't be fooled, money isn't everything. In 2021's Democratic primary for mayor, Bill Peduto outspent Ed Gainey by 3 times, over 3 times even, and ended up losing to him by 7 points. You can have all the money in the world, but in the end, elections are won and lost by the voters. For PolitiSmack, I'm Nick Konopka. Now let's send things back to our hosts.
Thanks so much, everyone. In case this is your first time joining us or you need a little refresher, Ray of Sunshine is our way of starting your day with a smile and inspirational quote.
For those who may have forgotten, next week is spring break. Spring is all about rebirth and starting fresh. So this week's quotes reflects those concepts.
Our quote for this week comes from an anonymous author and reads, "Each day, each season, each life is so vastly different. Rebirth, starting anew, is not a sad occasion. It is wonderful."
That
was actually really
That is really
cute.
good. I just really cute. I feel like it's perfect for right now, especially because of midterms and everything.
Yes, I just understand, like, going from day to day and, like, seeing my friends' stuff. Everyone is just so down in the dumps and
I know.
stressed, and midterms are coming up, but I think after spring break, I'm excited to start on a clean slate.
Right, I agree, and that kind of reminded me of like how we were freshmen in high school, and then we worked our way up to seniors, and then we're back being freshmen. But it's like such a bittersweet change of everything. That's kind of what it reminds me of, just fresh, clean slates all the time.
All the time.
All the time. I have a coffee mug that says "Today is my new favorite day," and it's Winnie the Pooh, and that kind of reminds me of it too, because it's like a cute, clean slate every day.
Every day you start, and sometimes it could be sad, like, you're thinking, oh, the semester kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And after spring break, you're like, maybe it won't go as well as I thought it was going to go
Yeah.
after spring break. But
Right.
you just have to take a deep breath, remember that you're starting a new
Right.
half of the semester, and kick that semester's butt.
Amen to that. You got it. That's it for this episode of Daybreak. Thank you all so much for watching.
You can catch clips from all our previous Daybreak episodes on our YouTube at UView Television.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at DaybreakPPU. Until next time, I'm Juliana Brock.
And I'm Colleen Winder, hoping your news is great news. We love you, everyone.